This time I am going to check the audio. Give me just 2 minutes. Okay. So yeah, we are currently live, but just like the day before, are we having any audio issues? That's what I need to check. The connection is excellent. Okay. In CBSC currently, which book are they following for Python and programming?
I think Sumit Arora.
Sumit Arora. Okay. Do you have the book?
No.
Okay. You don't need to buy it. Okay. That book, you really don't need to buy it because, to be very honest, that is not a book worthwhile enough to even read. Okay. Now, then suppose you are in your studies. So, how or what should you follow during your studies, right? That may be a question. Just a second. Let me check up the. Uh, okay. Is the live going on properly? Just give me 1 second. Let me just confirm that it is working. Hmm, it's working. Really don't need to buy it because, to be very honest, that is okay. So I just checked the live streaming. It is working. Fine. Now this is a book that I want you to understand. This is from OpenStax. Okay, and this is a Python programming book. So I shall be sharing you the PDF of this book. And as you can see, this book is very good if you are a beginner. Okay, like compared to Sumit Arora, this book basically directly delves right into programming without much of a fuss, or let's say, mm, Sumit Arora has this garbage stuff that he has written. Just you can see here. If I just go to the starting, it directly goes into the input output and it directly begins with these statements. Okay. So there is no time, or let's say no waste of space, or no waste of this book's philosophy, that it wants you to get directly started with programming without any buzzword, without any issues. Okay. So I shall be sharing this book to you and you can follow it. Okay. And now,
Okay.
yeah, next thing that I would say, mm, which will be with regards to, just a second, with regards to your syllabus. Okay. So currently, we have already done a lot about the input output. Like we have gone through how print statements work, that like from very basic to also the type of variables that it can print. Okay. And even the sizes. Oh, by the way, remember I asked you one question, that why does the an empty list or an empty, what do you call this, dictionary takes 41 bytes of space in a this Python like programming language?
I forgot to do it again.
You forgot to do it again. At this one, do you want me to say the answer, or do you again want to take one more time to,
Next time I want last time.
huh? So what are you going to
One more
do?
chance.
Okay. Okay, this is a very interesting question. I want you to look it up. Okay. You just do one thing. You just do go to Google and just write why empty list. You know the query. That's basically the question that I gave you. So why an empty list or an empty array, or not, I'm sorry, not an empty array, empty dictionary will take up 41 bytes of space. Okay. Now there is one more thing that I want you to understand, is with regards to variables. Okay. As you can see here, it will like introduce you to different types of variables, like none, int, float, and all this. Okay. Now, I think we have already discussed this, but I want you to go back to the beginning and just search up what could be the maximum limit of an integer in Python. Okay. Fun fact, it is not exactly like C where there exists a limit. Okay. Get it?
Okay.
Okay. That's one more thing that is done. Now we are just going to look up the syllabus real quick so that we can understand what to do. Uh, where is it? Did I just miss? Okay. Yeah. Now all these things we have already done. Expressions. We shall be delving deeper into expressions, but before that, between these introduction and expression, I want today's class to be basically a lot about problem solving and all this. So give me a second. Let me quickly go here. Currently, I don't have an overlay like plan. So, oh, are you making notes on overlay?
And just the first two classes I did.
Yeah, but after that, have you continued it? Because it will help you.
What do I write for the next classes? Like we did Python.
Yeah, we generally did Python, but you can also write your programming, whatever we are doing in uh, in your LaTeX as well. Okay, see here, you can use listings here like this. Okay, or I'm introducing you to this minted LaTeX. Okay, minted is actually a package in LaTeX.
I'm not sharing our screen.
Oh, am I not sharing my screen? Okay, very sorry. I thought I was sharing. Yeah, okay. Just a second. Okay, now is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, sure. Now, what we want to do is this. Okay, did you see the book? I think that time the sharing was off. This is the book, Introduction to Python Programming, OpenStax. Okay, this is the book, and these are all the chapters, and these are clickable links. Okay, so you can just click on it and go to the like chapter there. Now, what I want you to use in your LaTeX document is Minted. This is actually a package available via GitHub because the person who made it available via GitHub, so it is linked through his account. But what it does is after you just import it, and then you can have a minted Python. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to begin the environment with the name minted, and then specify the programming language that you are using. Okay, and then you will see that you can just paste the programming that you did directly in your LaTeX, and it will come up beautifully like this. Okay, with proper syntax highlighting. So don't you find it really cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you shall be using minted for basically making. Acha, now one more thing. Suppose you want to like add pictures to your LaTeX. Do you know how to add pictures to your LaTeX?
No.
Okay, for that you need to have this package called graphicsx. Okay, so graphicsx here, you will see that you just need to import this package or add this package. Then you can have this graphics part, but it's fine if you don't want to. It's something for like you don't need to again and again include the part of the picture. Okay, and then basically here you can write include graphics and then specify the name of the file. Okay, with this the picture will be inserted, but there are going to be issues with it because it will directly paste the picture. Now you want the picture to be sent like in the center with a nice environment, with a caption and all this thing. For that, basically, you need to have, you need to do begin, figure, and all this. Okay. Have they discussed? Yeah, they have discussed it. So you need to do it like this. You need to have begin, then you need to mention the environment name, which is figure, and then this basically mentions the position. This H means, I think this H basically means horizontal or something. No, place the float here. Okay. And then T basically means top, B means bottom, P means this is a special like page for floats only. And then basically this means whatever be the good position. Huh?
What is float here?
This is not your int float or character or all those kind of things. Okay, you can just imagine this as something similar to in your Microsoft Word. You know, there used to be this text wrap option and image wrap option where it was the option was in front of the text. This float is similar to that in front of the text option in a Microsoft Word.
Okay.
Okay, and this is a property. This is not about this integers and all this. Remember one more thing. LaTeX is not actually a programming language. It's never been a programming language. It's basically a scripting language used to make vectorized text on a PDF. And okay, one more thing. Do you know you can actually have uh, what do you call this, videos inside a PDF, and they will be running if you click on the video.
How?
Okay, so it's an interesting thing. Like, okay, if you just Google it out, videos in LaTeX PDF, something like that. Okay, similar to this. There will be there are going to be queries. There are going to be articles. Basically, how you do it. Okay, it's a bit complex, first of all, and the issue is that currently because Adobe Flash that was not well enough to wait, even read. Happened? Okay. Now, oh, the YouTube video. So suddenly it started playing. Suppose. Okay. So basically, Adobe Flash. Currently, may I ask your age if you are fine with it, or just which year you were born?
16.
Okay, in which year were you born? I don't know, 16, right? So I have to subtract it. Uh,
2009.
2009. Okay, I am way older than you, but the thing is that when I was in Flash was discontinued probably in yeah, it's written here in 2021. But when I was small in the 2013, 14 era, so there used to be, the internet was vastly different. Okay, there used to be so many Adobe Flash games. Like there used to be websites like the Disney website. I remember. I just remember that currently, how is the Disney website? Disney.com, if I remember. Hmm. This is the Disney website, which is taking to, yeah, this is a website which is so flat, right? Currently there are just images and just some pictures of what is happening, what is coming to the theaters and all this. But back in those days there used to be games on websites. Okay, you can play games. You had 3D websites. 3D means not that 3Js wala 3D, but 3D in the sense they had shaders and all this. Okay, and those websites used to have so much appeal. You can play games. There used to be websites like Cartoon Network website. You could play Ben 10 games. Okay, and all those were facilitated by Adobe Flash. Uh, is it a software? It's more like a interfacing layer, but uh, currently those things are not there anymore. So because of that, the PDFs, if you previously, if you used to open PDFs on web browsers, it used to play videos. Okay, if you were able to embed it, but currently those support is not there, sadly.
Okay.
Hmm. But yeah, there may be some ways that we can still achieve it. Yeah, there are few videos where we can still achieve it, but if you want, you can try. Okay, you're always free to try. If you can, you can look up on different sources, but uh, it's a bit difficult unless and until you use Adobe Flash still support, like a supporting software like Ocular, or maybe an older version of Chrome, or you use the Adobe Flash, what they call this, translation layer. Okay, but that's it. That's one thing. One more thing I would say, you can make animations in LaTeX as well, like animations in PDF, and a lot of things. You can do a lot of things in LaTeX. They are vastly more powerful than any other like presentation software or writing software, if you are able to delve deeper into knowing each and every command of LaTeX. But that's it. That's my take on it. Now, where we were, yeah, try to write more LaTeX commands and stuff. Okay, try to write your notes in LaTeX. That's one thing. Now, this is a note that I shall be sharing you, and here basically we are going to be discussing about the Python environments, which we had already discussed, how to set up your own local Python environment. Do you remember the command
No.
python -m virtualenv, उसके बाद जिसका नाम देना है डाल दो. Okay, if you don't remember, no issues, we can always go back and see it. Okay, so let me deactivate the current virtual environment. So I have deactivated it. Are you able to see my terminal?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I just do python -m, this is virtual environment. What does -m mean? -m means modules. Okay, and I think you already did a homework on modules and everything, so please go back and revisit it. Now, virtual env means you are setting up a virtual environment. .venv, this is the name of the folder in which the Python binaries as well as the packages will be installed. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
You can name it anything. You can name it whatever I wish. Okay, you can name it your name, whatever. Now, after making this, you need to source it. What do I mean to source it? Means the active terminal. Whenever you use any kind of command which uses the Python binary or the pip binary, they are going to be sourced, or they are going to be used from this local environment that we have created. Okay, as you can see, as soon as I enter the source.venv/bin/active, I get to know that my virtual environment has been activated. Now, if you want to see what the heck is written inside this activate script, you just do a vim, and let me just, yeah, as you can see, the activate is actually a file which is written in bash. Okay, this is a very simple bash file which basically tells the terminal to, whenever you are asked to ask to just open the Python binary, the Python home, you will use this particular environment that we have created. You can see this is the environment. There's a location of the environment which we have created. Okay, all this we have already covered, but this is a small recap for it. Do you have any questions with this?
No.
Okay, yeah.
But is
Hmm.
there any other way of, like, for me, for not using nvim and then doing that?
For not using what?
Neovim for writing Python codes.
Oh, of course. Like even I like not every time I also use NeoVim or Vim for a more developer friendly environment, which I know a lot of people are going to kill me if I say it, but I do prefer VS Code, okay, over NeoVim or anything. We can set it up in your system like you anytime. So you can just do one thing. See here. Suppose you want to set up a new IDE. Okay, one more term for you to understand. This is Integrated Developer Environment, which is IDE, and there are the IDE is a different thing. VS Code is a different thing. VS Code is a text editor. Okay, and NeoVim is a text editor. Vim is a text editor. IDEs are specifically designed for like where they can integrate a lot of, let's say, building tools and all this. I know the building tools ab kya hai. So understand that VS Code is not an IDE. Okay. We call it text editors. Just understand that. I shall introduce you to IDEs a little bit later down the line. Okay. So uh, we were trying to install VS Code. So just search VS Code like this. Yeah, VS Code. And okay, now you can install the first option, which is the open source build of VS Code editor. Okay, you can install the where is this? The sixth option. Okay, this is the sixth option, VS Codium. You can install this one as well, or you can install Visual Studio Code Bin, which is basically what I have installed, and this is the official VS Code. Mane, like we call it official, but whatever. So this is the VS Code that is developed by Microsoft. Okay, and why do I use this VS Code instead of the open source VS Code? If you have a question like that, and the answer would be I like to use a lot of AI agents. Okay, as you can see, I have uh, Windsurf here, I have Klein here. So I do use a lot of AI agents in my daily workflow, and the integration of AI agents with Microsoft's implementation of VS Code is way more smoother than the open source VS Code or the VS Codium. So hope that clears up the remaining doubt. Do you have any other doubt? You may ask.
Yeah,
Or
what is
like you don't need to again. What is your?
YAY?
Oh, YAY. Okay, okay. I think you also have it. You also have it on your system because your system. I installed your system. So yeah is basically a wrapper. Okay, it is a wrapper for doing this thing. Sudo uh, pacman s. Then you just basically install whatever. So VS Code. If I do it like this, okay, then I just enter my password, and it's going to just search for this. The issue with Pacman or VS like this Pacman is that it will directly search the best match. Okay, the code, as you can see here, this is the open source binary. If I see in the yes result, code was given to me as an option. Among all these options, it was asking me which one do I want to install. But if I do a Pacman VS Code, then basically it will take the best match, which is the code, and you can see here the code is the first one that it recommended, means it was the best match. Okay, so it will basically install the best match directly, and because code is in direct conflict with what I have installed, it is currently asking me, do I want to remove it? Of course I don't want to remove it, so I'm going to basically pause this installation. But that's why I prefer to use YAY. Yeah, there is one more thing, one more package manager, like package wrapper for Pacman, that is called Paru. Paru. Okay, I prefer Ye. You may prefer Paru. People, these are just choices. Okay, that's it. You can just go ahead and go to Google and search Ye versus Paru. Okay, you will see that, okay, people are fighting over this, like which one is better, okay, and why, which one do you prefer and why. So there are different reasons, different philosophies behind using one after the another, but yeah, you may read up on it, but that's it. Now understand that we want to for today's class we are going to be requiring pip install numpy matplotlib. Okay, so if I just copy it and just paste it here. Oh, sorry. Okay, one more thing I want to say, but just give me a second. I want to say this link real quick. Uh, mm, okay, it never got through it. Fine. Okay, now let's go. So, mm, what was I even going to say? I had to stop midway. Ye paru. Okay, oh yeah, I was going to install this. Now the thing is that suppose I do Control V. Okay, in my terminal, I just now pressed Control V. Okay, now if I just do a space, nothing is happening. If I do J, nothing is happening. Or I can just write Ye. Okay, if I just press Enter, it will just work. But I'm going to pause it. I'm going to do Control V. Then I do, let's say, Control C V or something. Okay, now you see this error. Not error, but basically this thing. 200, like this bracket and all this. Now, do you have any idea from where did it suddenly just came up?
No.
Okay, the to understand, basically in your terminal, what happens when you press Control V or Control Shift V? Control V is not a valid operation of pasting some text into your terminal. Okay, so what you do, basically you need to do Control Shift V to paste text in your terminal. But what happens when you do Control V? Control V basically means the characters and this, like, um upper, what do you call it, exponentiation, bracket 200 tilde. First of all, this exponentiation means control. Okay, then after this bracket 200, this basically means V. So these are the, what you call this, hardware level conversion between what your input key or the keyboard, okay, when you press, what happens to the transition, like what character it translates to. Now, one more thing, do you remember the ASCII table that I taught?
I actually learned the numbers, but I forgot it.
Please try to remember it, because sooner or later we are going to be requiring it again and again and again. Remember that capital A starts from 65, and what do you call this? These digits are basically your 48, 32 means space, and all this thing. Try to just see them ASCII, because you are going to be having a few questions from them. Okay. Oh, by questions, I also want to take a test, and because currently we have progressed enough to have a test. Okay, we shall be discussing it after the class today. Now, you got the difference between Control Shift V and Control V. Now, if I do Control Shift V, this is, you need to understand what these commands mean. Pip, PIP. Pip means Python package installer. It's going to install the NumPy and the matplotlib package. Okay, and I just do an enter, and it's basically just installing it. So here you will see that it's already caching it and all this, but yeah. Now, this is the Python environment stuff that we have already discussed. Please go ahead and read it again. Now, we are going to be starting with solving problems. Okay, what problems we are going to be solving? First would be the Armstrong number. Okay, so what is an Armstrong number? An Armstrong number is basically one kind of number, be it 3-digit, be it 4-digit, be it any number of digits. Okay, what happens is, if you take the digits and raise it to the number of digits given to, like, in that number, and then you sum it up, it will sum up to the exactly the same number. Okay, take for an example 155. So this is a 3-digit number. So 155 is a 3-digit number, means if you take each and every digit, raise it to the power 3, and then you sum it up, you are going to get exactly 153. And another example that has been stated here is 1634, which is a 4-digit Armstrong number. Basically, why I'm saying Armstrong, this Armstrong, what way? So Armstrong number. So here there are 1 to the power 4 plus 6 to the power 4 plus 3 to the power 4, and you sum it up, and that's it. You get the like same number that you begin with. Okay, now understand, how are we going to express this in a Python code? Okay, The code is given here, but we are going to be writing it again on our VS Code terminal. Okay. So under fundamentals, we are going to create a new file, say Armstrong number dot file. Okay. Now I'm going to cross it. Are you able to see and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to create functions. Okay, so one function will be Armstrong number. No, I'm going to say is Armstrong number. Okay, is Armstrong number. Okay, so this, and then we are going to have a main function, and remember this part. Okay, we are going to go line by line about this. So if name equal to main, I'm going to explain it again. It basically means where Python is an interpreter, so it can't have a compiled code. It has to go line by line. But we like even if it goes line by line, it needs to understand from where to begin with. Okay. So underscore name is basically a macro which is defined in Python interpreter to look for the function to be like first, okay, in the sequence of running the code. So the function that it's going to look first is main function. Okay, but suppose I could change it. I could change to it being is Armstrong. Okay, whatever. But here, because the control flow begins with main, we are going to be having like this one as the first function that the interpreter will be going to like go and read line by line. Okay.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
If even if we change the function name, so will we also change if name equal to then change the function over there, or will it stay main?
No, it's better to keep it main. Okay. There are scenarios where you can change it. Uh, Defining macros. Okay, I shall show you a C example later. If I not in this class, okay. I shall show you a C example. That will be better. But yeah, you can do some, what do you call this, tinkering with it. Okay, you can do a bit like a bit advanced in the sense like we are beginning. Okay, we are beginning, and some things we probably need to take as it is at this level. Okay, if we go into classes and how these functions are working, then for that you need to understand object oriented programming a little bit. And Python is actually an object oriented programming, because all the functions like do you remember that type or the type name, what system OS type of, let's say, list. Okay, it used to call it class list, right? It belongs to the class list, an object belonging to the class list. So what is an object, what is a class, and all these things, and that's how these macros are defined. So uh, later on we are going to understand it, but it will probably take you till the end of class 12 to at least get a vague idea that how it is working. Okay, sorry for that, but let's continue. Now for the main, so what happens, we are so this is just a function that we have quickly built up, which is basically test numbers. So these are the numbers we are going to test whether they are Armstrong or not. So basically you take each number, put it in a for loop. So for number in this list, basically number means this will go and iterate over the list one by one. So first it will go and take 153, then it will go and take 370, then it will take 371, and it will go and take the numbers one by one. Okay. Now, after that, what happens? It basically goes and asks this condition that if is Armstrong number. Okay. And we pass the number here. What it means? If is a conditional. Okay. If. So suppose I ask you, uh, will you be going to school tomorrow? Tomorrow is Monday. Answer is yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. So this question, will you be going to school tomorrow, has a binary output, right? Yes or no. That is a binary output. There can be two states. Can there be a state where you are both at home as well as in school? Unless and until you are sleeping at like in your home and you are dreaming that you are in school, unless and until that kind of scenario happens, you basically can't have both of the conditions true, or both of the conditions like one is true, one is false, or something like that, whatever, that like a middle ground kind of thing. Okay, you can't have it. You can either have a true or a false. Now if is Armstrong number means, if the number is an Armstrong number is true, then it's going to print that yes, this is an Armstrong number. If it is a false, it's going to go to the next line and go and print the number is not an Armstrong number. Now, as you can see, can you read this line?
An Armstrong number is a number that is equal to the sum of its own digits raised to the power of the number of digits.
Yes. So suddenly this kind of definition, from where this is my editor, right? How the heck does my editor, this is a text editor, how does it even know that what is an Armstrong number? The work of this text editor is just to edit text. How the heck does it know? The answer is, and it also knows that what it takes as an argument, it takes an integer as an argument, then it basically returns a boolean. What is a boolean? A boolean is a data type which has only two values, means true and a false. Okay. Okay, take this, take the next part that I'm going to say as a homework to you. What is the size, what could be the theoretical size of a variable, of a Boolean variable? Or sorry, Boolean data type, or yeah, Boolean data type or a Boolean variable. What could be the theoretical size? It can only store two states. Any answers? This is not a question I'm giving as a homework, but yeah, I'm asking.
43.
Huh?
43.
40, 43? No, no, that's not the case. It basically means, okay, see, I can toss a coin, right? And it can have a head or a tail. So there are only two states for it. And a Boolean number basically requires only one bit. One bit means there is a space, like, okay, let's go a little bit, let's digress a bit. Okay. Land gate. Yeah. So yes. Should I take a good example? If I can find a good example, it would be great, which you can view. Okay, this should be a good one. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay, we can actually discuss with this image. Tunneling barriers. This will be a difficult one. Let me see one. Okay, let's go with this one. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, you don't need to understand what does X1, WPG, all of this means. Just understand this is like literally, this is the 5 micron. Okay, so this is in micrometer scale. Okay. And the only few things that you need to understand, that here in this space, okay, this is a like, what do you call this? Blank space, right? Empty space. You can either have a ball inside this space, or you cannot have a ball inside this space, right?
What is a ball?
Ball, a football, whatever. So here by a ball I mean an electron. Okay, an electron can either be inside the space or it cannot be inside the space, right? Though this is not a like good example. This is kind of like same picture of a two variable so NAND gate, but this is a two variable NAND gate, and this is not exactly the space where electrons do like stay, but just for the sake of understandings, for the sake of visualization, and let's just imagine that uh, inside a gate, inside a cup, you can either have the electron inside or you cannot have the electron inside, right? So there are only two states that cup or a gate can like handle. So that kind of thing, that kind of what they call this gate, okay, this kind of gate represents the concept of a bit. A bit is a memory unit which can store only two states, either 0 or either 1. Either something is inside, either it is not. Okay, get it? Okay, now if I go back to this thing, so this is the function. So I am saying that let's take the integer here. So each integer we are going to take from the for loop, we take it inside, and then we pass it to the function. Okay, we pass it to the function as see number is now then typecasted to int. Okay, remember I asked you that integers are what is the maximum limit of an integer in Python?
Yeah, you said 100.
Yes, please try to search it up. One of the hints are literally there on your screen. Here it is written that integer is a class here in Python. So it will help you out to understand or search up the actual reason why integer in Python behaves so much differently than an integer in C. Now, so this is the variable. This is typecasted to int. Okay. Now, what is this arrow? What it means like an arrow. So you know that functions are like एक तरह से कुछ घुसा तो दूसरे से कुछ और निकलेगा, लाइक एक तरह से आलू घुसा दूसरे से सोना निकलेगा, ठीक है. सो यहाँ पे हम घुसा रहे हैं इंटीजर, दूसरे से निकल रहा है बुलियन. ओके, so yeah, I forgot to say it, but the question that I was going to give you is a boolean theoretically should be taking one bit of information or one bit memory. Okay, how much memory a boolean takes in Python? Okay, is the question clear?
No, can you explain again?
Yeah, sure. So I can explain it in a way simpler manner as well. Let me just go here. So let's go ahead and go with Python. So we are inside the Python terminal, import system. If I just have bool b equals to true. Okay, I forgot. Is it just b equals to true? Oh, there is an indentation error. Okay, that's oh, okay, captain. Okay, b equals to true. Now I just do print b. Okay, it will just tell me that b is true. Okay, now if I just do something like this, oh, this is not valid. Probably I have to do something like oh, this is basically in C we can do it, but here sometimes. Okay, fine. So I can just have b is equal to is the not operator not working like this? Then I can just set b equals to false as well here and just do a print. So if I just do it like this, so there are only two values that I can assign to b. If I were to assign, let's say 10 here, Okay, there are not going to be any values, but 10 is a positive number, right? So if I just do print b here, it will be true again. Oh no, actually, oh, it is, what am I doing? Sorry. I'm assigning it. I need to check it. So let's just start with it one. B equals to true. So now it is a boolean. Let me just print b here. So it's saying it is true. Now, if I were to do if b equal to 10, okay. If b equal to 10, let's go with this. Now, print what I can say, true. What just, oh, I put an enter here. Okay. Now, else um, false. Okay, got it. Yeah, done. Okay, so then now see the output. Is b equal to 10? Is it true? B had a boolean. Okay, and of course that boolean value will not be equal to 10, right? So this comparison is still working. This comparison is still working. Okay, and suppose if I do if b means b itself, now b was set to true. Okay, now b itself is true. So basically if I just have some print statement here, I'm just going to do it like this. I don't need an else statement. Even if I write an else statement, because b is true, it will directly go inside this. Okay, so it can have just two values. Yeah, tak to clear hai. Now the thing is that I want to check the size of wait, something is no, okay. I need to check the size of the b variable. Okay, I actually forgot the syntax. Size of variable
Get
means,
size of.
right, sys get size of, yeah, it's the function. So if I just go ahead here and just do print sys get size of b, okay, see this is 28. Okay, get it?
Why?
भाई वही तो मैं तुमको जो है होमवर्क दे रहा हूँ बार बार कि एक इंटीजर का साइज, ओके, इंटीजर का साइज अभी तक दिखाया नहीं, दिखा देता हूँ. सपोज a be some integer, say, I don't think in Python we can initialize integers. Yeah, we can't initialize integers like this. So a can have some value, say 10. Okay, now if I just do, instead of b, if I do a, then you will see the size is 28. Okay, but why is it? And also, like, I've given this homework again. So suppose I have some lists, okay, and be it an empty list. So then if I just do again ll, currently it is 56. Oh, remember that if we were doing it without any of this, पहले से ही अगर suppose we directly declare the list without anything, then it would be 41. But because we are running a program and having some memory full, it will go to some higher value other than 41. Okay, 42, 43, कुछ भी value हो जाएगा. Okay, now this is your homework task, that to understand how this is working. Okay, and if you can, then let me know in next class. that you were able to find something. I just want you to try. Okay. If you can't, if you are unable to find anything, let me know. I shall explain this. Okay. But I want you to first look up into the resources that are already been given to you. Okay. Chalega? Don't you like feel curious enough? Why the heck is it? It doesn't make sense, right? If I do a similar thing in C, C will be consistent every time that you run it. But it is not the case for Python. Have this curiosity. Okay, whatever. I was just saying. Now, it is now type like after being typecasted, it is now returning the value to a boolean. Okay, means it can either be a true or either be a false. That's why it is so much effective here. If remember here, where did I do? Yeah, if B means if a boolean, if a condition is true, then only print true. If a condition is false, then only print false. And this is so much true here, as you can see. Okay, now the thing is that about this writing, if I just hover on it, as you can see here, this writing, where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? And the reason is behind this thing. As I was hovering over it, this writing is exactly the same as when I hover over it. So how is it coming? This thing, triple quotation, is called a doc string. Okay, this is called a doc string. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, now don't you have this question like what is a doc string? You have used comments, right?
Yeah, for like not using hash for all the lines, we use this.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good enough answer. But a doc string is a little bit different. It has one more property, okay, which is like how do I say it? Okay, remember this name. This is a macro, right? This is a macro or a flag. What do we call this? Can we can call it a macro. So this name. Do you think Python has only one macro? No, right?
Can you explain what is a macro?
Yeah, macros currently you can understand that how should I say? In a program, okay, suppose you have mm, a lot of variables and a few variables are basically long. Like let's say I don't want to write the value of pi again and again, 3.14159265 and all this. Okay. Now I can have two ways of doing it. I can introduce a global variable, say pi. Okay, I can have a like understand this. I can introduce a global variable pi and put the value here and then use it throughout my program. Okay, which is good. But I can also have something like a macro defined for pi, which can also do it. Okay, like I can have something I don't know if Python actually, yeah, you do need to define all these macros yourself. So suppose I can have something like this. Okay, like author, email. So this is giving me an examples of it. Okay, I can define stuff like this. Okay, these are macros. Now, what is the difference between this and suppose I just do, okay, this. There, you need to understand that this uh, basically means that when your program gets interpreted into the machine language, there some amount of memory is being taken up in during the program running heap and stack and all this. Okay, so Python has a very weird kind of memory structure. So I can't call it that this calls it gets into the heap. I can just call it that it gets into the memory. Okay. Python has weird, like it has a very weird memory structure, whatever. So just understand that. हाँ बोलो.
What is a global variable?
Global variable means, bro, we did it last to last class already, but okay, fine. See, in this function, suppose I introduce this variable strnum. I cannot access this function anywhere from main or anywhere writing here. Okay, str whatever it is. Okay, num. I cannot access it. So if I just print out strnum, it will give me a garbage value. Okay, let me show you. Let me first comment this out here. Suppose I am in my main. Okay, and I want to print suppose f, then str num. Okay, ऐसा कुछ कर दिया. Now here this is str num. Fine, किया इधर. Okay, अच्छा wait, are the brackets okay? So इधर is one bracket, this is bracket. Oh, that's right. Oh, okay, I was missing this comma here. Okay, so if I do it, it cannot access a variable here because the variable has been defined under this function. इस function के नीचे सब कुछ हो रहा है, ठीक है. इस function के नीचे strnum कुछ exist ही नहीं कर रहा. So if I just run it, I will have a syntax error. I will have many. Oh, sorry. I need to get out of this Python interpreter here first. Then I run it. So of course, this is not defined. Okay. So where is it defined? This is only defined here. That means this is local to this function is Armstrong. Okay, but suppose there used to be something like str num 153. Okay, then if I do it like this, see that this 153 is getting printed here because I was printing it here. Now this strnum is available to all the functions, be it local, be it global, whatever it is available to everyone. Okay, now understand that if I were to have a pi like this, it will allocate some memory during the running of the program to the variable. Okay, there will be a variable initialization, there will be a value storing of that variable and all this thing. But if I initialize it like this by giving it a macro, means wherever in your program this thing appears in the program before running, before interpreting, all the underscore pi underscore will be replaced by this value inside the program. Okay, so if I had something like here pi, then inside the program, inside the, before even interpreting, it will be replaced. So this thing is way more memory safe, first of all, and also way more efficient in terms of running. Now you will ask, okay, एक ही तो वेरिएबल का बात है. हाँ भाई, एक ही वेरिएबल का बात है. छोटे जब तुम प्रोग्राम लिख रहे हो, it doesn't matter. So but as your program grows larger and larger, it will matter to you. Okay, इतना तक clear है? Okay, now understand that just like this name under like underscore name, there is also something like underscore doc, which is basically like this thing, this underscore doc is special kind of macro which gets assigned this kind of like value, which is this triple comma type value. Okay, and this macro is being read by the editor. Okay, get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I was able to make you understand this in the previous class or not, but do understand that you are writing a programming language in English. Okay, so whenever you are writing a programming language in English, it is never going to be understood by a interpreter without parsing each and every function. Means it has to understand what does def mean, what does is Armstrong mean, what does this bracket mean, then what does this num mean. It has to parse, means it has to go and start from the beginning, take the words, interpret it to the meaning that it can understand, and do the binary transform. Like currently I'm saying it binary, but it's a different thing, whatever. So that transformation needs to be done. Okay, line by line. Okay, get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as you can understand what I am doing, I'm converting the number to a string. Okay. So if I just convert the number to a string, then I can just directly get the length of the string, which will give me the number of digits, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I can do? I can do the Armstrong summation by simply having the sum function, and I'm summing what? I'm summing over the digits to the power the number of digits. And this okay, this is a loop inside a loop, might be a bit too difficult. Let me just comment it out and do it like this. Okay, so you first initialize the sum to be 0. Okay, for the sum to be 0, then for each digit in the string digit, okay, you are basically doing the summation of the summation of, by taking each digit, you are converting it to int here, then you raising it to the power of the number of digits and adding the Armstrong sum. If you are unable to understand this plus equal to, understand that plus equal to basically means that Armstrong sum plus this thing. Okay, so let me just write here as well what's happening. Okay, this line basically means this line. Okay, chalega?
But in string num, how is
Hmm.
it converting the like one? Suppose the number is 153. So how is it converting to one and then five and then three?
Oh, I typecasted it. See this part.
No, I mean, is string num is a list?
String num, this one. No, this is a string. Okay, yeah, string. It is basically an array. You can say a list भी बोल सकते हो, ठीक है? Like list नहीं है भाई, list का structure अलग है, उसका data type अलग है, उसका class अलग है, ठीक है? But yeah, if you do something like num, उसके बाद like str num, like okay, you can do something like this. Print str num, and then you can just print the first character, the uh, what do you call this, the 0th number, or the 0 index number, the first index number, the second index number. Okay, you can do something like this. Okay, because it is a string, right?
Before line 24, can you just do one print digit?
Yeah, sure, let me do it. Do you want print digit or do you want me to typecast it? Let me do one thing.
Just digit.
Let me do one thing. Let's also have something like this. I need to import. Give me a second. Okay, fine.
Why is it the digit type?
Why is the
Digit type.
digit type? This ये वाला बोल रहे हो?
Yeah, why did you write before that that digit type is this?
Oh, basically, just to understand that the digit is a string, वही दिखा रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
So if I just run it, yeah, see, oh, size of कर दिया ना? Sorry, size of नहीं होगा. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Type दिखाना था ना? Type. So type will be Okay, see, it is a string, str. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So understand that each and every digit, what we are doing, we are going through the string number by number or value by value in the string. So, okay, if it's difficult to understand, let's take your name. Okay, so your name is Dyutika, right? So if I just take your name, then I can take each and every value. So D, then U, then Y, then T, then I, then K, then A. Okay. So what is happening here? In the memory, okay, in your system memory, so each and everything is getting stored as a uh, continuous block of memory. Okay. Let me just say. Okay. So this is how each and every block is. Okay, this is one block, this is another block, this is another block, and all this. Now,
But
understand.
why does
Yeah.
it store continuously? Why not D and then K and then U?
No, we are entering it like this, na. We are entering it like something str of this thing. Wait, what happened? Oh, I pressed enter. Okay, sorry. Just a second. So str this, and then I'm storing it to something like B. Okay, something like this. But again, it would be better if I have it in quotes, otherwise it won't be recognized as a string. Okay, this is just for handling it. Like even you don't need this specific type custom, because giving it in double quotes basically means it is a string. Okay, fine. And as you are taking the whole string together, it will be stored in a continuous memory block. Okay, one after the another. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay, if you still have issue, we can do one thing. For uh, let's say, what do you call this, character in B, I can just have print a location of a character is at, it was probably ID of the character. Okay, so let me just run it. See it here. Are you able to see this?
Yeah.
So from 4, so currently it is, yeah, 496 to, what is happening here? 312, then 504, then 256, and basically it's going not, it's not storing in a particular sequence here. ID is actually not the way to do it. How to show the address? Let me just check it up real quick. Strings in Python, address of each variable, each variable. Yeah. Yeah, this is the ID. Yeah, that's the thing. Uh, so understand that generally strings are stored one after the another. When each character are stored one after the another, but like whatever Python prints using the id function, they does not correspond to the consecutive memory location. That's the issue. Python doesn't have that kind of like addressing operator. It doesn't have the concept of pointers unless and until you introduce to it the concept of pointers and double pointers. Like in PyTorch, okay, we can use tensors and we can have we can pass addresses of tensors, but uh, here in normal Python, okay, it's not we are not able to do it. It's difficult to showcase and sometimes difficult to have Python as the first language that you learn, because all of these concepts are coming from C and they are integrated here, but Python never tells you about these concepts, the existence of these concepts. So what we can do, we can have a few classes of C to understand how this memory addressing and all of these things are working. Okay, will that be helpful? But that won't be there in your typical classes like school classes.
Yeah, no problem.
But remember, you don't need to understand a lot of the C, but that is just for your understanding of this memory addressing. Okay, now uh, if we are done with that, then we can basically continue with the logic and just check the Armstrong sum as basically the summation plus the digit raised to the power of number of digit. Okay, so how this is working? Do you know there is this concept of dry run? Dry run in Python. Okay, we can do a dry run here. So basically we are going to have so Armstrong number, Armstrong sum, and then we have digit, then we have the main number, so num digits, and we have the number as the main number. That's a number. Okay, so the main number what we gave was 153. Okay, the main number was 153, right? So now if we go to the code for digit in the str, when str number is the number, so what is the first digit in the number? It is 1, right? It is 1. Now if we go here, then Armstrong sum was initialized to 0. See, it was initialized to 0. Now it is 0. What we are adding to it? We are adding the digit, which is basically 1 raised to the power of number of digits, and the number of digits was basically 3. Okay, so 1 to the power 3. What is that? That is 1 only, right? So 0 plus 1, right? Fine.
Yeah.
1 raised to the power 3. Now this loop has ended, but then understand that in our str number, the second value is 5, right? So the second digit is 5. Okay, so if we have the second digit, then what we are going to do, we are going to have the Armstrong sum, which is basically this. Then we are going to have the second digit is 5 raised to the power of number of digits, which is basically 5, sorry, 5, then raised to 3. Okay, now after that, what do we have? After that, we basically again run the loop, and in our number of the number, only 3 is left. So now 3, then basically you take the Armstrong sum equals to Armstrong sum plus basically all this thing will with another plus 3 to the power 3. Basically the digit is 3 here, and I'm raising it to the power of the number of digits. Okay, so right now it is 3 to the power 3. So is that clear?
Yeah.
So this is how basically you do what do you call this kind of problems. Okay, like These are dry running problems, these are numerical problems or number problems. Okay. There will be like problems like happy number, perfect number, and all these things. Okay, fine.
But can you tell me how in the main function it is taking it as true or false?
Okay, so suppose after all this thing, what is happening? We are checking that if the Armstrong sum that we are getting, like by summation of all of this, okay, is the Armstrong sum equal to the number that we are passing to it. Okay, if both of them are equal, then this is a conditional, right? This conditions means like equal to means what? It checks the equality. So here we are getting the summation as 155, right? 155. So 155, 153. Is 153 equal to 153? My question is 153 equal to 153?
Yeah.
Yes. Then it will return a yes or 1 because I have already mentioned the return type to be a boolean. Okay. Now it returns the boolean here, and it basically, because it is true, it will go inside and print it. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Do you have any issues with this very fundamental program? No. Okay. Then we can probably move on to the code that is given here. You will see here. Okay. Here we have used map, which currently you don't need to. You can just follow the one that we have done here. Okay. Map I shall introduce in a later class. Okay. Now, next is the perfect number. Okay. This is the question for the perfect number. So what is a perfect number? A perfect number is a positive integer that is equal to the sum of its proper divisors, excluding the number itself. So do you know what are proper divisors?
Yeah, that where the remainder is zero.
Where the remainder is 0. Okay. So suppose I have a number like, let's say, 24. Okay. So is 24 a proper divisor of 24?
According to the example that is given here, I don't think so.
यू नो अरे भाई यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल देख के मत बोलो, बोल रहा हूँ कि प्रॉपर डिवाइजर का मतलब क्या होता है, ठीक है? मतलब ये होता है बेसिकली इट मीन्स सपोज आई गिव अ नंबर which is composite number, means there are other matlab factors, or let's say other divisors of it other than one and itself, right? Now in that composite number, if we exclude like the number itself, then there the other divisors are basically called as the proper divisors. Okay. So like एक क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ. सपोज आई हैव अ नंबर से, यहाँ से ले लेते हैं 12, 12. Is 1 a proper divisor of the number 12?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. So is 12 a proper divisor of 12?
No.
No. Suppose I have 17. Is 2 a proper divisor of 17?
No.
Yeah, good. 2 doesn't even divide 17. So is 1 a proper divisor of 17?
Yes.
Okay. Is 17 a proper divisor of 17?
No.
Good. Then you already know what is a proper divisor. Okay, very good. Now, these are is a perfect number. Like perfect number is a positive integer that is equal to the sum of its proper divisors. अभी समझ में आ गया? Suppose 6 का proper divisor क्या है? 1, 2 and 3. If you add 1, then you add 2, then you add 3, what you are going to get? You are going to get 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, basically that's it. That's what we need to implement. Now, before I go into this, so यहाँ पे जो example है, यहाँ पे we are using lambda function. Okay, I am going to when I'm going to like have a class on this called functionals. Okay, and lambda functionals. That will be a class later in this year. Then I'm going to explain lambda. I'm going to do the programming for perfect number in a different way. Lambda functionals, basically, I'm going to have a very simple thing. A function that you can define in one line means all the different computations and all the things that you can do, you have to do it in a Pythonic manner of one line code. Okay. And lambda functionals are coming from the concept of lambda, like mathematical concept of lambda functions here. I'm going to show you. क्या कर सकते हैं? So, a good example with Dirichlet, right? Yeah, Dirichlet lambda function. This is okay. Okay, but mathematical things would be a bit too much difficult. I can give an easy example. Okay, we shall do it later. मैंने that part अभी के लिए छोड़ दो. थोड़ा सा अभी एक step में करते हैं, ठीक है? That would be better. So now here, can you give me the logic behind the perfect number? How can you approach this? How can you try to approach and solve it?
We can use a for loop to check which numbers divide it
Yes, very good. So how would the for loop look like?
from 1 to 6.
From 1 to 6. Okay, very good. From 1 to 6. Huh?
From 1 to the given number.
1 to the given number. You know that in range, what happens that you start from 1, but if you have n, then you go to n minus 1, right? You know this.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, very good. Then what are you going to do? How are you going to check the proper divisors?
I mean, if it divides the number, then it is a divisor, proper divisor. I mean, if the remainder is
Yeah.
0.
Yes, perfect. If the remainder is 0. So if the remainder means, suppose if you do the for loop, okay, let's say for I in range 1 to say the number n, then basically if the number, whatever they be the number, say num is divide no, yeah, n was the number. So if n percentage I equal to 0, then it is a proper divisor, right? Then you बस basically क्या करो भाई, perfect number equal to 0 बाहर कोई initialize कर दो. So perfect number perfect sum equal to perfect sum plus I, and that's it. Later you just check if the perfect sum is equal to the number, and that's it, done. हो गया. Perfect number done. Get it? Do you want me to write the code, or are you going to write it?
I'll do it on my own.
Okay, good. Then there is this concept of happy numbers and beginner, yeah, mathematical. यहाँ पे कुछ algorithm में हम जा रहे हैं. So can I leave the happy numbers to you? Can we move on?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Fine, चलेगा. यहाँ पे implementation I think happy में set से किया है. So yeah, this implementation you can read. Okay, we have already done sets, so you can read this. Oh no, it is using map. So better you implement it yourself. Do you want me to do it, or कर पाओगी तो?
No, I do it. Yeah, I do
Okay.
it.
Then next thing we can move on to some palindrome check. Okay, what is a palindrome? Hmm, giraffe. Giraffe is a good example. No, giraffe नहीं. क्या example होगा? Silent? No, not silent. Mom is a very typical example. Oh, today is Mother's Day. So let's use the like Mother's Day term, like mom. Okay. So you have used mom, and yeah, you can also use mum. MUMMUM, right? Yeah, we can use two terms. Okay. I don't know what you call your mother. you call your mother ma or mom or mum or whichever. I'm going to choose two words today. Okay, mom, mom. So if I read it from left to right, it will be spelled mom. If I read it from right to left, it will be spelled from like mom. So if a number reading from left to right or right to left are the same, then basically it's a palindrome, right? So can you understand the logic that is done here? Can you understand the logic here?
Yeah.
Can you explain me the logic here?
We are checking if the string is the from the step is -1, so we are checking it from backwards.
Yes. So basically you are reversing the string and checking if the reverse string is the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now then, let's see. Next we have prime number check. Okay. And this is a very trivial one. Uh, you know how to check prime numbers, right?
No.
No. Okay, what are prime numbers?
Where some the numbers which have the only factors 1 and the number itself.
Which have only the factors other than 1 and itself, right? So yeah, you know it. You know it. As soon as you get another number which is not 1 or itself, you basically just say that it is not a prime number. Okay, right?
Yeah.
So just check it how we are doing it. It's a very like a more efficient way of doing it. See, if the number is less than equal to 1, then of course it's not a prime number. If the number is less than equal to 3, then you return true. Okay, because less than equal to 3 means 1, 2 and 3. Three things are already prime number. Okay, then if you check if the number is okay, one more thing, we could have used else if here, or we could have just do if. Okay, now I want to say
Why
this. हाँ, बोलो.
why if and not elif?
हाँ, okay, okay. Let's uh okay. Control flow. Do I have a diagram? If versus L, if control. Just give me a second. If I get a good diagram, I'm going to explain it. Just a second. Let's use this one. Uh, wait. Hmm. There was a very beautiful flowchart in the Harvard course CS50. Okay, CS50 course. I still remember it was one of the best flowcharts, and sadly, it's very difficult to find it anywhere. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, this is a good one, and let me open it up here. And for if condition, this is elif again. Do I have a multiple if condition wala? This is again not there. Okay, whatever. See, this is the like syntax or what happens in a elif like flow, control flow. Okay, so you first, the program comes here, it first asks if the number is greater than or equal to this. If it is true and false, then only it will go to the else if वाला condition. अगर ये false हुआ तब ही जाएगा. Okay, अगर ये false हुआ तब ही जाएगा. अगर ये false हुआ तो तब ही जाएगा. Okay, So that means what? It has to first do a checking here, then here, then here, then here to get to it, right? You get it?
Yeah.
That's the flow of the if statement. But what happens in a if statement? Look, Rukja. Nested if flowchart. If I have a good one. nested if वाला कहाँ पे मिलेगा? ये वाले if else है. Just a second. If I can get a good flowchart, it will be good. Yeah, get it. No. No. I want to have a good. अच्छा नहीं होगा तो फिर ऐसे ही बोल दूंगी. Just a second. Where is it? Where is it? I have it. No, I don't have a good enough flowchart for it. Okay, I'm going to say it here. Okay. Please try to get it as best as I can. I am telling you. Okay. Because without a visualization, it might be a bit difficult. The thing is that if you have multiple if conditions, one of them or two of them might be true, right? It can happen that a condition, say, first if condition be score greater than 90, and another if condition might be, I'm saying in a hypothetical scenario, score as one was greater than 90 and the other was less than 100. Okay, both of these will yield the result A plus. Okay, print A plus as a good. Now, how it goes? If it is a Python interpreter, then basically it will go line by line. Okay, but if the condition true or false, it will just go one and the next and the next and the next and the next. Okay, it will not have the issue of evaluating the else part. Okay, like how can I say this? If करके करके वो चला जाएगा, इसके बाद इसमें क्या होगा? If fair else, if fair else, if fair else, if fair else. Like it has to go between like it has to balance out again and again. Okay, I know it's not that much clear with just me saying it. If I can, I think the best way would be to just. I don't want a partial understanding of if else nested loop. The best diagram I have ever seen is in the CS50. Okay, if I can get it, CS50 Harvard. Okay, so this is the full university course, and
This is a Harvard University.
okay, at this one I might be wasting time. Okay, sorry.
Confusion later.
No, just okay. I'm trying to say. See, if you just come from the conditions here, okay, then you just ask the interpreter if the number is greater than or less than 90, you check it. Okay, after that checking, understand that it is happening. The check is happening in the function stack. That check is happening. Then it goes left and then it goes right. Okay, then if it is true, it will go to the next part. Like if के अंदर जाएगा, खेल खत्म. Okay, if it is false, then it will go into the else if part, and then it will go to the else if part if it is false again. So that way it is going. But if it is like just a if condition, Then if the first condition is true, then it will go. If the second condition is true, then it will go. If the third condition is true, then it will go. If the last condition is true, then it will go. Understand that there is this part, like false होने के बाद next में जाएगा, false होने के बाद next में जाएगा. That part is not coming. Okay, it's a very subtle difference because these two has a very slight difference in the runtime. So suppose you go to a bakery, and in that bakery, if you say that, okay, if I don't get this chocolate pie, I'm going to buy the strawberry pie. And then you say that, okay, I'm not getting the chocolate pie, then let me get the strawberry pie. But suppose you go to the bakery and you say that, do you have the chocolate pie? He says no. Do you have the then instead of just thinking of going to the strawberry, you again ask the question, do you have the strawberry pie? Do you have the lemon pie? Do you have the whatever be this silver pie? Okay, then you just keep on asking till it is true. Okay, you don't wait for the no answer. Okay, do you get it? That very subtle difference.
Okay, okay.
Like if I get it, if I get the flowchart difference between these two in the next class, I shall give it. Okay, like without that flowchart, it's difficult to understand. But if you can get that, देखो बार बार मैं if लगाते जा रहा हूँ, मैं उसका नो का ना बोलने का मना लाइक वेट नहीं कर रहा, वो बस yes बोल रहा है तो ही मैं ढुक रहा हूँ. ओके, समझ में? Very very subtle difference, but yeah. So let's go to the next part, this prime number. So after this, we basically just check if the number is divisible by 2 or if it's divisible by 3. Okay. So if though any of these conditions are true, then we basically return as a false statement. Okay. Then from 5 onwards, we go to the range, to the square root of that number plus 1. Okay. At a step of 6. Now, why am I doing so difficult kind of state? First of all, understand that suppose I give you a number, say the number is 36. Okay. So what is the square root of 36?
6.
Very good. So the square root of 36 is 6. So is it possible to have any prime number which is a divisor of 36 greater than 7?
No.
No, right. It's a very trivial thing. Like तुम जैसे स्क्वायर रूट का कंप्यूट करते हो, उसमें ही पता चल जाएगा कि भाई 6 का स्क्वायर 36 होता है, तो 7 का स्क्वायर तो उससे भी ज्यादा हो गया ना. So it's worthless to try and look for or do these computations that percentage I for values greater than 6 or greater than 7, right? It's worthless. Get it?
Yeah, I understand.
And why are we doing at a step of 6? Because we have already checked for 2, we have already checked for 3. That means 6 के लिए चेक हो गया है भाई. 6 के डिफरेंस में तुम डाल सकते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Because a number divisible by 6 means it has to be divisible by both 2 and 3. And that has already been checked. Okay. चलेगा?
Yeah, but can you show the program one more time?
Yes, sure. Sure.
Like in line number 6, it is written if number less than equal to 3.
Yes.
But then 1 is also less than 3. So how is 1 a prime number?
No, first पहले नंबर में चेक कर लो ना. यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? If the number is less than equal to 1, तभी तो ये false निकाल दिया ना. वो इसके अंदर वेट नहीं कर रहा, वो पहले ही चेक कर लिया उसको.
Okay. Okay.
Fine. If you have any doubts, clear it up.
No, understood.
Okay. Then we can move to factorial calculation. Okay, factorial calculation, don't follow this. Don't follow this thing. Not that good. Because not that good nahi. This is actually a more efficient way of factorial computation. The not so efficient way would be to basically, what is a factorial? I give you an integer, say 5. So you basically do 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. You multiply all these numbers, right? So you basically run a loop and then you just initialize factorial as 1. So factorial star equal to factorial times I, where I ranges from I to n plus 1, right? So it is done, right? That's how you compute factorial. Okay, good. Next, you have Fibonacci sequence generation. Okay, so now what is a Fibonacci number? Do you know?
No.
Okay, let's introduce the concept of Fibonacci through some YouTube animations, if I can. So can you understand this? This is a box. Okay, this is a square of unit length 1. Now, if you take another square of unit length 1 and you just add it up, then you get a rectangle of the width, or no, of the height 2, right? Then you take another square of unit length 2. Okay, then 2 plus this side is what? 2 plus 1, that is what? That is 3. So then the next square that you need to take will be of the length 3. So after this, what is this? 3 plus this side is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. Then the next square that you need to take is 5. Now then after that, it is what? 3 plus 5. Then the next box that you need to take is 8, right? Then understand, this is 8, this is 5. Then the next box that you need to take is 8 plus 5, that is 13, right? So after that, you just then again repeat it. 8 plus 13, that is your 21, right? So 21 plus 13, that is basically 34, and this goes on. Do you understand that what we are doing?
Yeah.
We are summing up the next number in the sequence with the number before that. Okay, this is called the Fibonacci spiral, which is originating from the Fibonacci sequence. And the question is basically we need to do or make the Fibonacci sequence. Okay. Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So how do we make it? We basically do recursive call. Okay, what is recursion? अभी देखते हैं. Okay, I think this thing. Okay, this is like a short introduction to recursion. We will have a dedicated class to recursion later. Okay, just in next two or 3 days, because recursion we are going to follow. So what happens that when you call Fibonacci 10, 10 goes here. 10 is of course not less than equal to 1. So it will not return the number. What happens? We return the Fibonacci, the function call of 10 minus 1, right? So what is the value of 10 minus 1? That is 9. So we go here 9. This condition is false. Then we go here. Then this again returns what? This returns 9 minus 1. This goes 8. Then we again go here. We put up 8. We again check here. We go here. And basically 8 क्या होता है? 8 is 8 minus 1, that is 7. 7 गया. 6. 6 गया. 5. 5 गया. 5 के बाद क्या है? 4. 4 गया. 4 के बाद 3. 3 गया. 3 के बाद 2. 2 गया. 2 के बाद आ गया 1, which is less than or equal to 1. Then we return 1. So 1 is returned here, right? So 1 gets returned here. Then what happens? Remember that this was going on. As soon as 1 gets returned, the other numbers which were there in the sequence will be getting returned again and again. So it will be returning 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and all this. But it will be summing it along with this call as well. Okay. So what happens here? You get 10 minus 2, right? So basically you do 10 minus 2, that is 8. Then you go back here, then you go here. So here it was what? 9 plus 8, right? So then it is what? It is 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 goes here. 6 goes here, and then again you just minus 1, minus 2, that is 4, that is 2, that is 0. 0 is of course less than equal to 1. Then you return 0. So at the lowest level, it returned 1 from here. Do you remember? It returned 1 from here, and it returned 0 from here. Okay. Then again what happened? Then the next level, it will return 1, and then it will return what it will return? It will return 1, and then no, it will return 1, and it will return 2. Okay, so I think it's a bit messy when I just say it. Let's do it. Let's write it down somewhere to understand. Okay. Let's write it down somewhere. So Fibonacci of, let's say, n minus 1 plus, let's not do it here. Fibonacci of n minus 2. Okay. And where n is equal to 10. Okay. And remember the breaking condition? Breaking condition is n less than equal to 1. So how is it going? How is it going? So now it is minus 1. So it will go like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 0. But 0 तक नहीं जाएगा, ये 1 तक जाएगा, right? 1, और यहाँ पे क्या होगा? 10, it is 10 minus 2, which is 8. 8 के बाद आएगा इधर 6. 6 के बाद आएगा इधर 4, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Now understand the summation, how it's going. 0 plus 0. Sorry, 0 plus 1. Okay. In the first, so after, like in the stack, it is going what? 9 goes inside, then 8 goes inside, then 7 goes inside, 6 goes inside. It goes till 1, right? It goes till 1.
Yeah.
And it only returns 1 at this step. After that, what happens? After it returns 1, then here it will go from 0. It will go from 0. Okay. So fine, this will return 0, and 0 plus 1 is basically 2. Okay. And basically it will return 2. Now then 2 plus 3.
How is 0 plus 1 2?
Sorry, 0 plus 1 2 कैसे बोल दिया? Very sorry. 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay. If I said that, sorry. Okay. Then 1 plus 2. Okay. Just follow the sequence. What happened? Just follow. Like if you just write it down in a stack. Then it happens. Just, do I have a good picture of it? Like, I don't have my graphics tablet. It would have been better if I wrote it somewhere. Fibonacci recursive call illustration animation. If I have a good animation, then it will be okay. This is a good one. Yeah. See, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. ठीक है. अभी देखो यहाँ पे 3 से लेके यहाँ पे 1, यहाँ पे 4 से लेके यहाँ पे 2, और 5 से लेके यहाँ पे 3. Like the -2 step. Okay. -2 step for Fibonacci 5 is 3. -2 step for Fibonacci 4 is 2. -2 step of Fibonacci 3 is 1, and that's where it ends. Okay. Now you basically sum up all the values. Okay. Sum up all the values which are at the tail. That is 0 plus here. 0 plus 1. Then again 1. So 0 plus 1 plus 1 is basically 2. Then 1 plus 2. 2 plus 2 is basically 4. 4 plus 3 and yeah, this 4 plus 3. Okay, it goes on. Okay, if I no, it's not 4. Did I miss? Okay, n is 2 1 3 2. Yeah, 4 plus 3 then 5. Yeah, so fine. एक और एक animation देख लेते हैं. Let's go and check one more animation if we have it. Yeah, this is another, not an animation, but this kind of works. Branching sequence. Yeah, this is actually an animation. Animation tab. So 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Then you basically go in the back and you just go to 0 and 1. Then you go to 3 minus 2, that is 1. Then n minus 2, that is 4 minus 2 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 0, and then it is minus 2 is for 2 minus 1 is 1, then 2 minus 2 is 0, and basically you compute all of this. Okay, then you just sum up the tails. Okay, as you can see with summing how it's going. Okay,
Okay.
fine. Do you have any issues? I know the explanation might not be that clear unless until you write it down. एक एक करके एक बार लिख लो. That would be better.
Okay.
Like, I'm really asking, was it clear, or do you have questions?
No, it's clear.
Okay, then it's fine. So this was with the Fibonacci sequence recursive call, and we were going to start vectors, but probably it's already time. So let's not do it today. Okay, just want to ask you, how much of physics vectors have you done?
It's done.
It's done, like cross product, dot product हो गया ना?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So now we can actually go into vectors in Python. Okay, so this will be done in the next class, and before that we can talk about the exam. So when can we have the exam? And the syllabus will be basically loops. Okay, for loops, and basically I will give you a question. I will define a kind of a number, and I will ask you to just check this, is this number this kind of number or not. Okay, those kind of questions will be there, and some form of a list and set or dictionary will be there. Okay, and other than that, I will ask you to create a folder structure in Linux. I will ask you to do a few commands in Linux, and you just need to copy whatever I will ask you I will give you the objective that you need to achieve, and you need to achieve the objective using the Linux commands. Okay, fine.
Okay. What if I fail?
हाँ ये भाई फेल करोगे तो okay, बस you just need to reflect कि कहाँ पे गलती हुआ. ये this is a very homely test, don't worry. Okay,
Okay.
why are you thinking about failing? Why are you even thinking? You should not be. Okay, so let me just give me a second. Is the live still going? Yeah, so it is going on, so fine. I'm pausing the live. You may actually watch the lecture later. So